All right, what's up, NDL? Very cold day for a lot of people. Like I'm looking out my window right now, and all I see is white. I see nothing else. That's how hard it's snowing for me. Um, I'm sure you guys are probably seeing the same thing, but hey, perfect time to get some games in, right? Let's talk about some bowl games. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We'll definitely give out the list of bowl games that we have here. But first, let me introduce the rest of the crew. First up, we have Coach Doc. How are you, sir?
Good, thank you.
Reasonably warm, I hope.
I'm in Minnesota. It's about -10, -20, somewhere in that area.
Expected, unfortunately. Um, well, you'll be indoors just like me. Vic, how are you, sir?
Yes, sir.
What's what's going on, everybody? I'm cold too. It's about 17, 20 degrees, something like that. It's cold.
Gotcha. For me, it's right now it's 14 degrees without the wind chill. With it, it's single digits. And we were talking about a pre-pod. If I go to work tomorrow, it'll be -7. I'm looking at the range -7 to -10. So yeah, that probably means I'm not going to work. We'll see, I guess. Um, but anyway, we have some stuff to talk about. We have quite a bit to talk about, to be honest. We've got the bowl games to announce. We have conference championship games to talk about, and then obviously the really big thing to talk about for us, the whole reason that this podcast is called the Outliers, is we have whittled it down to one for this season. So we'll talk about that team and what their chances are of avoiding the dreaded 3-5 outcome in their bowl matchup. But first, before we talk about the bowls, we should probably talk about what happened that led up to them, and that's the conference championship games. Some really competitive games across the G5. So let's start there. The first matchup that we have, if I can get the NDO website to load, not cooperating with me right now. I know that I want to say it was 24-7 as I try to pull it up. Um, Southern Miss and James Madison. I don't know if someone can fact check me real quick. I'm pretty sure it was 24-7.
What was the score?
I think it was 24-7, but I'm having the I'm not getting the website to load up fast enough to see. But I know Vic, you were watching the game because you were excited about the playlist as many others were. Um,
Yes, it was 24/7, by the way.
okay. Oh, you got to see more of the game than I did. I went back and watched it, but you got to watch it live. How did you feel about Southern Miss's performance in that game?
Very good performance. He had a very good performance. Dominated on defense, which is a bit of a surprise for him this season, but definitely was motivated to get that conference championship. And he went out there and played well. Uh, got some stops at key times. It was a few plays that he knew that he game planned for that he knew Glizzy was going to run, and he stopped those plays. Pretty much didn't do too much on offense, did just enough not to lose the game. Did have a situation at the goal line where he went for it and didn't get it, but was rewarded because James Madison did not score on the ensuing possession. So nothing came out of that goal line stop, but pretty much dominated the start from start to finish. And the
Doc,
playlist was five.
I knew that was coming. I was waiting for you to say that before I continued. Um, Mr. Doc, did you get to catch the game? How did you feel about it?
I did, and I have the same, basically the same feelings as Vic. I was surprised that his his defense was as good as it was, but I think there was a lot of motivation there to get that win. So he played that it he played it as well as he could. He played that. He played it as well as he could.
Yeah, the defense is what I got out of that the most. Man, it's just, hold on a second. There's an echo. I'm trying to see if I can get the echo stopped. I'm not sure where it's coming from. I'm trying to adjust the voice just a little because I saw Rain Jiggy trying to boost it some. So let me know if it sounds better. If not, I can try to pop it up some more. Um, Defense is a real crutch for a bad crutch for a lot of people because it's hard to get stops, and being able to dictate terms that way by saying, "Hey, we're gonna make this a low scoring game. We're gonna make defense be a factor in this game." Whenever it happens, I'm always surprised to see. And I did get to catch the first part of the game, and I was very surprised to see that. So he set the tone. Unfortunately, James Madison just wasn't able to do enough on the offensive side of the ball. Like you said, the red zone not cashing in, but then also not being punished for it by, giving up points. Really good season for Big Red from start to finish. Rough with that first loss of the season, but bounces back with a late game comeback. I believe it was in the second game, and pretty much for the most part, he's rolled through the Sun Belt, and I believe that is his second. Is that his second one? I can't remember if he won with Georgia Southern. No, he lost the Old Dominion. Never mind. But second really good season in the Sun Belt. And obviously, he's going to have a really good draft pick for next season, pending the other stuff, participation and coach reports. A good season for both coaches. Good showing for Glizzy, and I did see what he said in the Sun Belt. He's wanting, like, just leave the conference so I can get a chance to win next year. So on the doorstep twice. We'll see if the third time will be the charm if he decides to stay. And next up, a very contested game, one that I got to tune into, the American, and a very important game too. I'm sure the committee was watching that game closely. You had East Carolina versus South Florida. South Florida stumbled at the end of the season, losing to UAB, but they still find themselves in the conference championship game. We expected it to be a high scoring game. That definitely was the case. And ultimately, it felt like once East Carolina got the lead, South Florida kept answering, but then East Carolina had the answer every time. They're able to finish things off in the fourth quarter and get the win. East Carolina, an impressive season. South Florida as well. Very fun game to watch in terms of points. How do you gentlemen feel that game played out?
You go ahead, Doc.
I think that game was won in the first quarter. Because after that, it was a pretty close game, and I think the way East Carolina started off, they were able to keep South Florida pinned down in that first quarter and able to get that 14-point lead. But then South Florida comes back, gets the 21 points, makes it a game, 21-28 going into halftime, and that was the difference in the game because South Florida played a heck of a game in the second half.
To expand on the point there, what Doc was saying, the other key possessions in the second half, there was a loopy option fumble that happened with East Carolina that South Florida recovered, and they were down by 10. And on the next couple plays after, South Florida threw a pick six, and that basically definitely ended the game. If the sequence in the first half didn't end it, that sequence right there ended it because he had a little bit of the momentum after that wacky fumble, and then boom, pick six to the house. That ends all hope right there.
Man, it's difficult. Once you get behind, it's kind of funny because once you get behind, you're just kind of like, okay, I know I'm gonna have a lot of possessions. I'm gonna try to just like we just have to keep the pressure on offensively, but it's just it keeps coming back to the other side of the ball. At some point, you have to be able to get a stop, and they just weren't able to get one. And nothing is worse than a pick six. Pick six, scoop six. You don't want your offense to directly give the other team points. And when you're playing from behind, there is the pressure on the other side because I know you had to be feeling it. You know, Tutty had to be feeling like, man, I don't want to like because you give up like you're like, okay, I got back up to a two-score lead. Cool. I'm not saying that or sorry, not Tutty Pirate Flag. You don't want to get relaxed. We're like, okay, up two scores. Now if we get a stop, we're good. And then they come right back and score. Like, man, like you just got to get find a way to get one. But kudos to him for being able to keep having the answer for the answer. And obviously, he wins the conference. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Good season for him. Good season for South Florida as well too. Had a really impressive game. It was a loss, but an impressive game against Tennessee, and they were really game in this. It would have been the first chance for Jordan to win a conference championship. Close, but just not enough. Good seasons for both teams. Then third, obviously I watched this one because I feel like I feel like I have to being as a part of the conference USA, Liberty against Middle Tennessee. I was looking forward to it because I'll admit I hadn't really got to see Middle Tennessee play a lot this season. Or sorry, Middle Tennessee Liberty play a lot. I got to see a little bit of Middle Tennessee over the course of the season, but just had not seen Liberty much at all. They just kind of quietly went under the radar, honestly, for much of the season after Jet took over for Sudden Blues. And I have to say, I was very impressed by what I saw. 42 points in the first half by Liberty, and it ends up being, the second half just trying to control the clock and try to hold on. They end up winning 59-38. 450 yards passing by Liberty, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it would be a shootout because Middle Tennessee has put up over 50 points a handful of times this season, so they kind of force you to play a fast-paced style of game. But Liberty had enough answers defensively. They won by 21. Very good season for him, 12-1. Middle Tennessee had a slow start to the season, started 0-3, but ultimately in the conference championship game finishes 8-5. So two-part question. One, how did you feel about the game if you guys got to see it? Number two, how do you feel about Liberty getting their first opportunity to play in the spotlight? And how did their performance relative to that?
Well, both teams really playing in the spotlight for the first time. One of them handled it well, one of them didn't. Uh, Middle Tennessee was hyped up, and he was amped up for the game. But then after it was 21-3, I believe, in the first quarter, it was pretty much done after that. Unfortunately for him, uh, the passing game did surprise me. The fact that he threw for 450 like that. But it wasn't a surprise that he did end up winning the game. And Liberty definitely handled the spotlight very well. I believe since he was there for either most of the season or all of the regular season, he's going to get a high draft pick. So he's one of those wait till he gets a good team users, and we're going to find out about him real soon.
this is one I didn't get a chance to see, but I will say this about Middle Tennessee State. Surprise after their start of the season, they were able to come back and show up in a championship game. And even though they lost, it still says a lot about them being able to make the championship game, get that far. But Liberty's good. When he's going to get a good team, and he's going to surprise some people with that good team.
Yeah, for Middle Tennessee, it's interesting because he had a really good season and his offense looked good from start to finish. So I'm curious to see. I know he'll have a new team next season, what it looks like when he has more talent, which I know sounds scary. I don't know if that means P4 or if he stays the G5 route, but it'll be really interesting to see what he does with the team, with having more of a choice in what type of talent he takes on the offensive side of the ball. For Liberty, really impressed. Like I said, he just no one's really talked about him all season. I think really the most anyone brought up early on was the fact that, hey, he's undefeated. But then when you look at his schedule, you could see the loss against Clemson. And I feel like that's really the most we talked about Liberty all season. He put together a good season. I think this will be of the Jose vein of he plays really well in the G5. So what does he do if he goes the P4 route next season? You're going to have more talent, but more talent also means you're going to be facing more competition. So I don't know. For those that don't play in the G5, just speaking from experience, I feel like for me personally, it's two different games. In the G5, the offense tends to have the advantage more. Windows in the passing game are open longer. Yeah, you have, more. Your quarterback may not be as reliable, but the windows in the passing game are open longer. So I feel like you have more time to make things happen versus playing P4 versus P4. Those windows are a little bit smaller. Yeah, your offense is probably still fast, but the defense is faster too. So you have to make reactions, you have to make decisions quicker, and it's like two different type of games. So I'm really curious to see how both coaches will perform. But kudos to both. I got to play Middle Tennessee. His offense is definitely a handful, and he ended up bouncing back after a slow start to have a good season. Gave up 80 points to Auburn, and then the offense has kept rolling. He's fixed some things defensively. You just got to find a way to get a couple of stops over the course of the game. Liberty, good from start to finish, and we'll see how he does next season. Next up, the Mountain West, a rematch in that conference championship game. Boise got blown out in the regular season matchup. He meets up with Fresno State again. This one definitely closer, but the same end result. Fresno ends up winning 41-38. This was an interesting game. Just a touchdown separating them at the half, tied going or 1 point difference going into the fourth quarter. Um, Fresno knew it had to win if it wanted to stay alive and the competition for that G5 spot. Adding a feather to their resume. Did either of you guys get to watch the game? If so, how did you feel about the performance by Fresno in the second half?
I watched the game and I thought Boise played way better in the second half than Fresno did, and I thought Fresno was going to lose it there for a minute. And but I give Boise a lot of credit for the way that first half started and the way that he hung in there, and he played that second half. He was playing to win. There's no doubt about that. And in the second half, I think that Fresno was playing not to lose, and that is what kind of almost got him caught up.
Mr. Big?
Yeah, I saw the replay of it. I saw the replay of it. Yeah, in the second half, he was catching up, but he couldn't just make up the difference that Fresno State had in the first half. just couldn't. It's like he was there. It was like a 7 point deficit, and then boom, 3 plays, touchdown. 7 point deficit, boom, 6 plays, touchdown.
Yeah, it's really
So,
interesting. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
so yeah, with Fresno State, they definitely show why they were in contention for the G5 CFP spot.
Yeah, the my first thought when I was watching this game was, knowing, especially knowing Boise's coach and how I got to see the first game and how it went, like, okay, got to get off to a better start. And you just don't want to get that feeling of deja vu. And it kind of felt like that, like, hmm, I think this is going the same route of this is going to go the same route. It was looking like it, but Boise fought back, and it's something that I was thinking about watching the game. Like Fresno needs to win, but Fresno also needs to have an impressive win. And as the game was winding down in the second half, and Boise just they wouldn't let up, and they were trying, they're staying in the game and just waiting to see if Fresno would make that mistake. It never happened, but I was kind of like you, Doc. Like it's like they were playing, you watching Fresno and felt like Tutty was like, okay, I'm just trying to make sure that I win this game, as opposed to it'd probably help if I could finish this strong and leave a more impressive performance. A win is a win, don't get me wrong. But watching the way that that
Right.
game finished, it's like, man, if this is the last image that the committee's gonna see, you like it to be like if you can help it, you like to make it be a really strong one. And after watching the game with East Carolina, it just felt different watching the way that the Fresno State game ended. But a conference win for Cuddy. So conference championships are not easy. So he gets that. Um, we'll talk more about Fresno in just a sec. But there is one other game that we do have to talk about, and that is the one that's probably going to be leading us to the next conversation. That would be the MAC championship between Chip and Andy Buffalo CMU. We saw how things played out in the first matchup in the regular season. You get the rematch. This time, Central Michigan is home. And for the second time between these two coaches, the road team gets the win. Buffalo ends up winning 38-35. A really fun watch in this one, and definitely a much different game than what we got in the first one. So just no question, really, just comments from you guys. Because Vic, I know for sure that you saw it. I'm pretty sure we talked about it. Doc, I'm not sure if you got a chance to catch it, but it definitely was it felt like a heavyweight battle.
It definitely was a heavyweight battle. Um, it looks like Andy was more prepared this time, and he definitely adjusted to what Chip was doing on defense this time around. There wasn't any forced fumbles. Like there wasn't any fumble recoveries in this one. We know the chipstick be activated at all times, but it wasn't any fumbles in this one. And Buffalo won the turnover battle. Last time Central Michigan won the turnover battle, but this time Buffalo wins the turnover battle, and they get the victory. And we'll talk about them in a little bit. I do want to say this. I do want to say this as well. That last play, just go down. You would have had a second to call that timeout. Just go down next time. Just go immediately down.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that one. Um, there was one thing I really was surprised by in this game, though. Doc, I'll let you go first, and then I'll circle back afterwards.
Yeah, I thought Andy played a much better game on this time around to get that win. Pretty much back and forth. I think both teams played well, but I was surprised that there were no fumbles. But I really thought that Buffalo deserved to win this game.
The stat that popped out to me, so coming into this game, my first thought was, okay, obviously Buffalo's going to have to do something. They have to have a different approach because we already played one. And yes, it kind of depends. 'Cause I feel like we've all played games where you're like, I made some mistakes here. I maybe did make a mistake here, but the play didn't go well. So how much do I really need to change if I were to, look back at, like, do I change this call? Does that change the outcome? Was it a bad read? Was it a bad play call? Et cetera. The fumbles hurt, and they always do because I feel like it's especially playing against Chip. He tends to be up there in fumbles recovered. So obviously he's forcing quite a bit in order to do that every season. Those are really quick momentum swings. Getting you the ball takes a possession away, and it seems like a lot of times those are coming on, once you're past the 50-yard line. So it hurts because you losing an opportunity to score a point. So to be able to avoid turning the ball over that way is a big help. But I was really surprised that Andy and the ground game didn't get going. Just 49, 47 yards, I believe, by Henderson on the ground. And he was really good early on in the season. I feel like Andy really leaned into more of what we've seen him do in the past with passing the ball, what he did at CU, what he did at Kennesaw State to say, you know what, we're going to air it out and we're going to see what happens. We're going to go to our bread and butter. And I just really was surprised that there wasn't more of an emphasis on putting the ball on the ground. But hey, if it results in a win, you're going to take it. There's definitely some plays on both sides over the course of the game. A drop pass here, an overthrown ball here. I know Chip had one where he had the tight end open, and man, just you're looking at that's a big chunk play there. And it's an overthrow that leads to you having to, a drive that doesn't end in points. And he had a couple of misses too. You hate to see them, but it just felt like both teams played really well. They had a chance, and Buffalo was able to just outlast on the road. They get the win, gets the conference championship. Chip again, 2 seasons in a row, he's in the conference championship game, really close games, but just on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Though he did play well. Hate to see it, but really fun game to watch. And then that's going to lean into the next subject because all the conference championship games are played. Obviously, kind of looking at how things look at the previous CFP rankings, you had Central Michigan at the top in the G5. You got East Carolina, you got Fresno State, Buffalo kind of lurking in the back. It really was narrowed down to those four teams, at least from what we could see going into conference championship weekend. Coming out, Central Michigan loses, the other three teams win. And as we heard earlier today on game day, Buffalo is the team that is deemed the outlier. They get the highest ranking G5 spot. They will be in the CFP. They'll be playing against Bama on the road. Ouch. But still, a huge accomplishment to be able to get into the CFP. So I have a couple of questions for you guys. I feel like I'm just going to leave the floor to you two because you can speak on it more than I can. They get the spot. You've got East Carolina in the mix. You had Fresno in the mix. As I said, Liberty kind of went under the radar the entire season. Sure, they got some mention at the end, but it's a little bit harder to make up that ground when you don't have that thought space. So, how do you guys feel about Buffalo getting the G5 spot? And then just in general, don't even have to get into specifics. Uh, do you feel like that was the right team to get the spot?
You take this one, Vic, first.
Yeah, I do believe they are deserving of the spot. So what happened is it was literally between those four teams, and then we narrowed it down. And then it was between ECU and Buffalo. And the logic behind Buffalo is that we did hold Central Michigan in high regard because of their resume and the fact that they already beat Buffalo, on the road as well. And they did have the solidified G5 spot in the CFP rankings before this last ranking. And the fact that Buffalo is the team that beat the team that was in makes a lot of sense. It's nothing against ECU at all. ECU played a great game. Uh, they did lose to Temple. They did lose by multiple scores to Temple, but they did beat a P4 team in NC State that was ranked to begin the season. So that was a good thing against them. Fresno, they did lose their P4 game against Oklahoma State. That's what kind of did them in. And Liberty, even though they had a good quality loss, only losing by 10 to Clemson, the strength of schedule for the rest of the conference was not up to snuff as far as like an ECU or a Buffalo is concerned.
The one thing I was surprised about is how much Liberty had conversation once. I was surprised about that. I feel like with um, Buffalo, it was the right decision, and because of Central Michigan being that last team in at one point in the last poll, that held some weight with everybody, and I think that was the right choice. But I think that ECU being the next one was it was a tough decision. At least it was for me. I had Buffalo in it over ECU. So, and that's the logic I used was the Central Michigan logic, and so that was my reasoning behind it. But I feel like that the the fives we got right. That's just how I feel about it.
I was personally in the bandwagon of ECU. I personally had them, but the logic did make sense for Buffalo. They did beat the team that we did have in. So for the conference title to automatically qualify you, so the logic does make sense for Buffalo.
Yeah, it was such a tough one because I feel just from an outsider perspective, and it's kind of how I felt with this particular CFP bracket. There isn't an objectively definitive answer. So, and it kind of, I guess it depends on who you're talking to, but that's kind of how I felt with the G5 and how I felt with that last spot in the P4. So when it gets close, different things are going to matter, and the question is, what does the committee value more? How do they weigh X versus Y? And when you get into that situation, I feel like the teams, East Carolina was deserving as well. I felt Fresno was definitely deserving of a look too. It's just given what the committee was looking at, Buffalo gets the nod. All three are deserving. Only one team is going to get it. Congrats to Buffalo. You feel bad for the other teams, but it's not to, put a damper on their season. In other seasons, it may have been good enough to qualify for that G5 spot, but definitely nothing to be disappointed about. It's just only one spot is there available. Only one team's going to get it. So when it gets down, only one team's going to get it. So, kudos to Buffalo, and a really fun season to watch as someone, just sitting here watching a bunch of G5 teams playing against each other. Knew it would be close, and you just wanted to see how it would, who would end up getting the spot at the end of the day. Well, that said, we know that Buffalo got it, and they have one hell of a challenge because now we kind of have the flip side. Because before we started the Outliers, you had the flip. MC was in this position playing at Georgia with Old Dominion against D. Kane. And now he is hosting the SEC matchup against a G5 team in Buffalo. So I saw Andy joke in chat about, trying, he appreciates the opportunity to get 35 on the road by MC. So I'm going to give a percentage. I'm going to ask for a percentage. What percentage chance do you give Buffalo of being able to win this game? And then we'll circle back and give me, if they are to win, how does it look? How does it happen? Oh, Vic, I'll start with you first.
I give it a 1% chance. And the chance is the 1% is, and the reason why they could win is if they force a bunch of turnovers. Now, they force a bunch of turnovers, then they're right in there with Alabama. That's the only way I can see them, being respectable, being within range, or being close to Alabama is getting a bunch of turnovers.
Okay. Doc, what percentage chance do you give?
You know what? I'm going to give him a 10% chance, and here's why. I think he showed a little bit more in Central Michigan when he started throwing the ball. And I'm not like, if he can mix that offense up a little bit better, and, you know, obviously he's going to need to get the turnovers. I agree with Vic there. But if he can get that offense pretty mixed up and keep Alabama guessing, he may have a small chance. I really, his passing game I thought was pretty impressive, and his running game is always good. So it's gonna be a fun game to watch. Let's put it that way.
Definitely going to be high scoring. Definitely going to be high scoring.
It's going to have to be. It's absolutely going to have to be high scoring. And man, I love Andy. I definitely don't want to be disrespectful. I'm going to say, I'm going to have to agree with you, Vic. I'm going to say a 1% chance. I, I, I don't know how it happens. Um, my concern is, I hear you, Doc, on the passing game, and I've gotten to play against Andy, and I've gotten to see what he's done in multiple seasons with his passing attack. This is going to be a little bit tougher. I don't think the HFA is going to bother him in terms of how he runs his offense because he's not a guy that's going to be doing a lot of stuff at the line of scrimmage. But how is your quarterback going to play? Is he going to be accurate? And then being outmatched in the trenches, man, I feel like he's definitely not gonna have the amount of time to pass the ball as he's had over the course of the season. And then the one thing that is always scary when you're playing up is being able to find an answer for man to man because Bama can play man to man, and we know it's not going to be the same on the flip side. So will Andy have an answer for that? Turnovers, definitely. It's not even the fact that you have to get them. You absolutely have to protect the football. Remember what we had last season in the matchup between Missouri State. Oh boy, can't remember. I cannot remember the team. I just remember what happened. Because remember, Jose scored first and then immedially gave up a kick return,
It was
and then
Missouri
it
State
just
and LSU.
LSU. Okay, couldn't remember. Sorry, now it's coming back to me. The Bucknut because he scored, and then as he's typing in chat, he gave up a kick return, and it was all downhill after that. Momentum is huge. Got to protect the ball. My concern in this game is how does Buffalo attack man to man? And how do they deal with being overmatched in the trenches on both sides of the ball? Both sides of the ball. This is a bad matchup in terms of team talent, especially in certain areas. And as NTX is pointing out in chat, really tough in terms of coach. MC is having one hell of a season right now. Not the ideal matchup that you want, especially with him being at home with the HFA, maybe, helping his players make up extra play here and there. It's going to be a really uphill battle for Buffalo, I feel. So then the next question that I have, a simple yes or no. He joked about it in chat. I know Andy is a prideful man. Is it going to be a 35-point game? I say no. Would say to both of you.
No, 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 no. It's not 21 to 28 points, but not 35.
Agree with Vic. Even on the numbers, I don't think it will be 35.
Well, we'll be rooting for you, Andy. We'll definitely, all of us will be checking out the game, and the next episode we will give a more detailed breakdown of what happened in that game. Hopefully, if things work out ideally, some video footage for that. But Cross brings up a good point, and that's where we're going to next. We had to start with that bowl game because that is the biggest bowl game for the G5, in my opinion, showing that they can compete with the big boys. But there are a lot of other bowl games to play. Obviously, we've seen the CFP bracket announced earlier. We've got the rest of the list, so we can just go down one by one. And I will ask you guys just quickly, like because we don't want this to take forever, just your quick thought and give me a winner. Oh, I'll get us started here. The first matchup will be the Bucked Up LA Bowl hosted by Grant, and it will feature the Miami Hurricanes against the Virginia Cavaliers. ACC matchup. I do feel bad in this game. I'm excited on one hand because it's two longtime NDL vets. I do feel bad though because, as Corey has pointed out in the ACC chat, he will not be back next season. So this will be his last game with Miami, at least on this game cycle. Who do you guys have winning this game?
I think Corey's going to go out with a win. I would say 24-21.
Okay, Vic.
I'm going with my guy in NTX Blue. Virginia's coming out with the win, baby. I'm going to say 42-38.
42 sounds about right. The race to 40. Oh man, Corey's a good dude. I am going to. I'm gonna have to side with you, Vic. It's been a struggle for Miami this season. I'm gonna go with Virginia. They find a way to win this one in a close matchup. I'm gonna go with Virginia. They find a way to win this one in a close matchup.
All right. Guess we can go ahead and go on to the next one.
Yep. I don't know if you want to take the list. It's cool.
Yeah, I can take it. The Salute to Veterans Bowl, which features App State and Brady against Air Force. Who you guys seeing winning this matchup?
Well,
I'm going to go with App State. That running game.
yeah,
I
I'm
would
gonna
say
side with it as well. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going with App State as well. App State all the way.
I think it's a fun matchup because of, they're obviously App State runs the ball and Air Force has a unique offense. But this is one of the things that we kind of talked about, Vic, I think, in the last episode. Like how cool would it be if you had App State matching up against one of the military schools and we end up getting
Okay, and here we are. Here we are. He gets his matchup. That's a dream matchup right there. So we'll see how that turns out. The next bowl is the Staff DNA Bowl with Louisiana Lafayette versus Toledo. Who do you see winning this bowl game?
Toledo, 28-24. Toledo.
I
it.
got Toledo 31-20.
I was going to go Toledo a little bit higher scoring, 40-28.
All right. All right. So the next bowl we have up is the 68 Ventures Bowl with Troy versus Ohio. Who you guys see winning this one?
Wow. I'm gonna go with Ohio.
Well,
I'm gonna go with Ohio.
I have to go with I have to go with Troy. He's in the chat right now, and if I don't say him, he's gonna DM me. So I have no choice. But I do think Troy will win. I think his offenses look good for, you know, this season, and he's looking to finish the season off strong and have a high draft pick for next season. So I think they finish off with on a good note.
Troy will live up to its coach's username. Duvid will throw bombs, and Troy is going to win 35-30. All right, the next one we got up is the Myrtle Beach Bowl. We have UNLV versus Tulane. Who you guys seeing match up there? Who's winning the matchup? My bad.
I got Tulane winning this one 28-20. I got Tulane winning this one 28-20.
This is going to be a really interesting matchup because LSU Mavs man, the man of many teams, is he's quietly put together a solid season, finished 7-5. No, a little disappointing for him, but UNLV's had a good one too. I think this game may come down to when it's played. If it's played at night, I give the nod to UNLV. If it's played during the day, to Tulane.
I'm going with UNLV. I'm going to go 24-20. UNLV. Next one we have is the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Say that 5 times fast. You have ULM versus Drew Baca in North Texas. I think we kind of all agree with who's gonna win this one.
Go with North Texas.
Uh, I feel like I'm being put on the
Sammy, who you
spot.
got?
I want Drew Baca to win so bad, but I feel that D Nazi is going to get this one. He's quietly put together a good season. He had a big rivalry win at the end that cleared up the division race in the West, knocking out Louisiana Lafayette. So D Nazi's played well. He's had his up and downs, but I think he finished the season strong. Sorry, Drew. I do want you to win, so I'm rooting for you to win. But if I was betting money, I got it on D Nazi.
Of course, y'all know who I got. Shout out to D Nazi. His running back is a top 5 running back. Appeared in the honorable mention of the Heisman Power Rankings before, but it's Drew Bach. It's Jukebox all the way. I got him 31 23. All right, the next bowl we have up is the famous Idaho Potato Bowl featuring UCF and Stanford. Who do you guys see winning this matchup?
Hmm. This is a
This
really
is this could
interesting
be
one.
yeah.
A battle of two 5-7 teams. You usually don't get that. It's usually a 5-7 against someone with a better record. Um, give me UCF. Big 12 is getting a lot of well, to be honest, the ACC gets shade too, but the Big 12 gets a lot of shade. UCF.
I'm gonna go with UCF.
Got to go with my Big 12 brethren and UCF.
Interesting stat here. Just looking, UCF has no win. All their wins are in conference. No wins out of conference. Stanford, 3 of their 5 wins came out of conference. But even with that said, I still got UCF.
That's interesting. Next game we got is the Boca Raton Bowl. Akron versus Texas State. Who do we have in this one?
Akron.
Hmm.
I see
Give
we
me
got to think on this
give me Texas State.
one. I got Texas State. Doc.
I got Akron.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. If you got some, go ahead.
Well, I'll read the next one
Okay.
because I'm sure you
Yeah.
don't want to. The
Can't,
next
I can't
one,
pick this one. I
oh,
can't pick this one.
no, we're putting your feet to the fire. The next one is the New Orleans Bowl, and
Well,
it
you
will
next,
be
buddy. You next.
Middle Tennessee against West Virginia. So, Doc, who do you have winning this game?
Well, I'm gonna go with West Virginia on this one, but I'm gonna be honest that I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Middle Tennessee gave a game. So I'm gonna be honest that I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Middle
Well,
Tennessee gives a
I've got West Virginia, and White is licking his chops right now. But I'm sure the West Virginia defense is shaking in their boots. Vic, who you got in this one?
I got I got me. I got me. I got me. I will not say anything, but I got me.
Okay, I figured I should read that one, but you can have the list back.
All right, we're gonna go in detail with this next one. We got the Scooter Coffee Frisco Bowl. I definitely have visited Scooter's Coffee before. Don't ask. I just did. Um, we have Liberty versus Southern Miss. Uh, how do you see this one shaking out, and who do you have as the winner? I mean, what are the keys to the game, and who do you have as a winner?
I I got I'm man, this is a tough one, but I'm gonna go with Southern Miss. I I think that his offense is really good and uh, Liberty's pretty impressive, but I think Southern Miss is gonna do enough to win this game.
I'm gonna go Southern Miss in this one too. I'm really curious to watch this one from the Liberty perspective of, you kind of cruise through the regular season. You have your first notable matchup against Middle Tennessee in the conference championship and win. So now you're taking another step up in your bowl game and facing a fellow conference champion as well. I'm really curious to see how Liberty plays in this one, but Southern Miss's defense in the conference championship has me siding with them in this one.
So Doc, you had Southern Miss or Liberty?
Southern Miss.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Liberty on this one. As long as one of us picks Southern Miss, he may win because he's been on the win streak. At least one of us picking him. So that's intercepted. Um, Liberty is going to show out in this game. It's another big spotlight game for them, and I feel like they're going to show out. It's going to be competitive. It may even be low scoring because I know Southern Miss and that playlist is going to be motivating. And so I got this between 24-17 or 2017, but I got Liberty winning. Excuse me there. All right. Next bowl we have up is the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. That is between UTEP and my guy X Cross and San Diego State with Big Z. Who do we have winning this matchup?
Well, I'll go first because my answer is obvious. Cross, you've had a great season, but I am an SDSU alum, so I have to pick San Diego State.
Not an SDSU alum, and I'm still going to take San Diego State. Yes, you alum, and I'm still going to take San Diego
I'm gonna go with my guy. I'm gonna go with my guy X Cross and UTEP. I got faith in you, brother. Don't let me down.
Rep Conference USA, well, sir.
Yes, sir. Next bowl game we got is the Game Above Sports Bowl between Western Michigan Coach Top and Coach Knowles, which is listening with us in the Discord in Minnesota. Who do we have in this one, Western Michigan or Minnesota?
I
Ooh,
like Minnesota in this one.
ah, this is an
I like
interesting
Minnesota.
one. This, I think, is the first one we've had so far, which G5 versus P. No, Middle Tennessee was. Man, it's hard to. Western Michigan is such an interesting team because I feel like they play however they have to play to win. But Minnesota, like, it's hard when I see Minnesota, it's hard not to see him beating Oregon. I just see that video that Pirate made of the end of that game. It's hard for me not to see that. So I'm gonna go with Minnesota.
I'm going with Minnesota as well. They did beat Oregon early in the year. I think the talent level is going to be a little too much for Western Michigan. Even though he can play any style, I think the talent level is just going to be a little too much there for Minnesota. For Western Michigan, and Minnesota is going to get the win. And Tuddy said that he made that, not Pirate.
Ah, sorry. I'm over here stealing credit. My bad. Uh, that'll live in infamy. I can hear the audio on that as it was happening. So I remember watching that game live. Like, what am I seeing?
I think we all was. I was at work and I couldn't believe it. I had went to break and someone was like, Minnesota's leading Oregon. What? What?
Yeah, crazy finish.
All right, the next bowl we have up is the Rate Bowl. Don't know what kind of race we getting, but it's the Rate Bowl. Michigan State versus BYU. Who do we have winning this one?
Hmm.
Tough one.
Give me Martin. So BYU.
I'm gonna go with Michigan State.
Definitely going with my Big 12 brethren and BYU. LJ Martin is a beast.
Yeah,
The
accurate.
next bowl we have, go ahead.
I can say accurate stats too. Love to see it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Love to see it. Love to see that. Next bowl we have is the Pro First Responders Bowl. Um, that is between Georgia Southern and Kent State. The governor, 6 feet in a bowl game. Who do we have winning this one?
Oof. I'm gonna go with Georgia State.
Hmm. This is a tough one. I feel like Kent State has overachieved this season, so why not in the bowl game too? Get another win.
I was thinking the same thing. Why not let loose and have fun? And thinking the same thing. Why not let loose? I'm taking Kent State and the governor in 6 feet. All right, the next bowl game we got is an interesting one. We have the Military Bowl. Last year, this person played one of the Outliers in the bowl game last season, and now he is playing another one of the Outliers. As we have Memphis and Coach Jokers versus our own Sammy, Coach Sammy in Western Kentucky. How do we see this one playing out, and who will win?
I am going to go with Memphis. Sorry, Sammy. I hope you win, but if I was a betting guy, that's where I'd go.
You've seen my defense, so you're betting smart. Um, I just know that during this game I have to have Discord closed because I don't need jokers sending me any Tennessee videos, any Rocky Top playing in the background, none of that. It should be a fun matchup. I know he's got a good offense, but I am a Kentucky fan as well, and he's a Tennessee fan, so it's a little personal here.
Uh, it'll be sacrilegious for me not to pick you, Sammy. So I'm picking you, Sammy. Why wouldn't I not pick you? That's no disrespect to Coach Jokers. Coach Jokers is very highly respected when it comes to me and my personal opinion about certain coaches or every coach in the league. I feel in high regard for him, but I feel in high regard for you too. And I got you. I got Western Kentucky.
And just so no one says something later, I will pick myself, so I didn't avoid the question.
All right. Next one is the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl between Indiana and SMU. Big Mike, I hope you listening because you almost had your perfect bowl matchup.
Almost.
And believe you me, I if that would have happened, I would have wanted you to break the rules and beat them by 50.
Oh boy. I will admit, when I saw this bowl matchup, the very first thing I thought was, man, if Block was still here, it would have been perfect facing off against the authority. Um, but I think we're probably all going to be in agreement on this one. I've got Indiana. I know Mike is ready to just uninstall this game. If he had a physical copy, he'd take it out back and light that disc on fire. But one more game. You just got one more hour this season, Mike. Finish strong. I got Indiana.
I got Indiana as well.
I got Indiana too.
Ooh, we got a Spotlight Bowl game next.
Oh yeah, we do. We do. We do got a spotlight bowl game, yes, and that is the wasabi. That is spicy sauce right there. Wasabi Fenway Bowl between East Carolina and Louisville. Who? What are some keys to this game, and who do we have winning?
Hmm.
I have Louisville in the ground game. That's
It's hard to argue that.
I'm gonna make it as simple as possible.
Hmm.
You got Sam?
Man, I want to pick the G5 so bad. 'Cause I know East Carolina is like, man, we just were on the doorstep for making a CFP. And you want to come out and have a really good show on the show. Hey, we're facing the leading rusher in the NDL and show that hey, we belong. But man, that's gonna be a tough matchup. Uh, I got Louisville in this one. I really think though that Pirate's gonna put up a good fight. He's gonna score,
Oh,
but
I
I
agree.
I just think that that ground game, especially when you get to the fourth quarter, it's just gonna be murder.
Yeah.
I got I got East Carolina. I feel like they are going to be motivated to show the NDL that they should have put them in the CFP. So I'm gonna pick East Carolina. I feel like the run game is gonna tell the story. Whoever can get the run game going first. I know Isaac Brown rushed for 2K. But Pirate is effective with those cuts and jukes and spins with the run game, so he is very efficient with that. But I got East Carolina.
I just have to say, I wasn't laughing at you picking East Carolina. I read chat and Chase V Tech said that Brown already has 125 yards and the game hasn't even started. Oh
He
man.
ain't lying. He ain't lying. All right, next up, we have one of the teams in real life that played in this bowl game versus one of the most high powered offenses in the NDL. We have the Pop Tarts Bowl with Baylor versus Georgia Tech. Who do we have winning this one? Baylor versus Georgia Tech. Who do we
With Georgia Tech.
What's the best Pop Tart flavor?
have? The
Strawberry for me.
strawberry milkshake.
Okay. Also,
Strawberry milkshake.
brown sugar. And this is interesting because I know Georgia Tech's defense has looked good, and that's a hell of a matchup against Baylor's offense. I'm gonna go Baylor.
I'm gonna go Baylor as well. Big 12 all day. I'm going Baylor. Next up, we have a spotlight game between two G5s. We have the Snoop Dogg Bowl, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by, of course, Gin and Juice, because he rolling down the street. Um, we have Fresno State versus Central Michigan. Old Chip versus Tutty. Who do
Hmm.
we have? What are the keys to the game, and who do we have winning?
Well, the first thing that jumps out to me is who's stopping the run. Central Michigan loves to run the ball. I mean, they just ran for over 200 yards in the conference championship. Fresno with that monster at running back has just been running wild all season. I'm gonna. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Fresno. I think it's gonna come down to the last drive. That is that is one hell of a matchup.
When Chip plays the national anthem, it brings the vibes. And then when he plays fired up chips, it brings even more vibes. So I'm going with all the vibes on this one in Central Michigan. I feel like he's going to
There's no
force a few fumbles. I feel like he's going to force a few fumbles, and those few fumbles are going to be the difference in the ball game.
I'm gonna add one thing, a little edge for Fresno. I just feel. I know Chip's disappointed because had he won, it looked like he would be the rep in the G5 for the CFP. But Fresno just kind of had got dismissed early, and I feel like this is a chance for them to show, hey, you may have slighted us early, but we belong. So this is I think a game where they can kind of showcase themselves here.
D Kennedy wants to know, could you put the visuals up for the bowl game? If not, just let him know.
I can't. I don't have the. I am not at an ideal place to do that right now.
All right. All right. Well, the next bowl game we have is the Fiesta Bowl, which is Boise State versus Sam Houston. Who do we have winning this one?
go Boise. Go Boise.
I'm going with Boise too.
I'm also going to go with Boise, but I'm interested in Sam Houston. It's the best defense I've faced all season. So I'm really curious how he goes about attacking the Boise State running game.
All right. We have. Oh, all right. Let me get back to it there. All right. We have the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl between Pittsburgh and South Carolina. Who do we have winning this one?
I'm going with Pitt.
I'm also going with Pitt because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but if you know Dealer, you may know who he's a fan of, and that point two might be helpful in possibly getting that team. So this game still matters for Pitt.
I'm going with Pitt too. Going with Pitt too. He is motivated to get that certain team on South Beach. The next bowl game we have, and I hope Weasel is listening. We have the Kinder's Texas Bowl between Texas Tech and Auburn. Who do we have winning this one?
Can you hold on while I make a water real quick?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. The first when I saw this bowl, I burst out laughing because I know I was gonna be like, damn, I gotta unmute Weasel. So I feel Texas
Yeah,
Tech will like he'll be extra motivated to win. Like, hey, let's hurry up and get this game over with so I can meet you back.
that is a weird dynamic that he has them blocked. Um,
Beefball.
that is a weird dynamic. But I'm going to go with my Big 12 brethren in Texas.
I'm going to go with Texas Tech.
Just know if Weasel wins, we'll never see the end of it in live chat. But wait, hold on. How many wins does Weasel have? I can't remember what the bet between him and Show was.
He had
Was
six.
it
He had
for the?
six, but he won't hit his win goal. He said he was gonna hit his win goal, which was 7. He's
Oh,
not gonna hit it.
gotcha. Okay.
All right, the next bowl game we have is the J Lab Birmingham Bowl between Birmingham's own UAB and Ball State. Who do we have winning this one?
UAB defense.
I'm going with UAB. I'm going with UAB.
UAB as well.
All right. Next one is my favorite bowl game, my personal favorite, the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl between South Florida and Arizona State. Who do we have winning this bowl game?
Go with South Florida. South
I
Florida.
just realized looking at this matchup, this is between two Tampa Bay Buck fans. So some bonding over college football. Man, this is a tough one. I think it'll be a one score game. I give the edge to South Florida.
On theme with all of the rest of them, I'm going with Arizona State, my Big 12 buddy. I think it's going to be a high scoring shootout, possibly in the 50s, but uh, I got Arizona State. All right, the next bowl game we have is the Music City Bowl between UConn and Illinois. Who do we have winning this one?
Gone.
UConn, the run game.
UConn, same run game. Next, we have the Valero Alamo Bowl between Kansas State and Washington. Who do we have winning this one?
I think this is going to be a really good game, but I'm going to go with Kansas State. This is going to be a really good game,
I agree
but I'm
on
going to
this
go with
being
Kansas.
a fun matchup. I hope and I'm picking Kansas State and I also hope he wins. I know he had the win against Pat, give Utah their only loss of the season. I feel like he is a really solid user that is under the radar and coming off of that, I think this would be a nice way for him to end the season and get some more eyes on him.
Of course, I got K State. Uh, Dylan Edwards is going to go off on this game. Next game we have is a spotlight game. And I think both of these people are in the Discord with us right now.
They
And
are.
that is the Rely Quest Bowl. We get to break this one down a little bit. The Rely Quest Bowl between Wisconsin and Texas. What are the keys to winning this game, and who do you got?
Hmm.
I like Wisconsin in this game. I think their offense is going to do a pretty good job, and it's going to be close. But it really comes. It's going to come down with Texas's defense and how it can and handle the Wisconsin offense. But I think Wisconsin's going to win this one.
And I'm actually going the other way. I'm the matchup that I'm most intrigued by is Wisconsin's defense against Texas's offense.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting matchup. This was actually the first bowl that jumped out to me when I was skimming through the list. I
Same with me. Same with
I
me.
honestly have kind of waffled back and forth. I'm gonna go with Texas, but I don't feel confident in that pick either. But if I pick Wisconsin, I wouldn't either. I think this is gonna be one of the top three matchups of the bowl season.
Since he's here and yeah, it wasn't highlighted, and he probably didn't hear the beginning of the show. Uh, I did vouch for you, RB. I did vouch for you at the end of the day. The committee kind of backdoored. The rest of the committee kind of made a case for you in a backdoor way. So I did put you in the spotlight there, but unfortunately you did not get the spot. The defense between Wisconsin and the offense between Texas is gonna be interesting to see. Can he limit the stops for Texas? And I feel like this is a hidden thing in the game, in every game. Who gets to kick off first? I feel like the person who gets to kick off first and the person who gets to kick off first in the second half is the key. Because do they get the ball last at the end of the first half to extend or come back and get the ball, first in the second half? But at the end of the day, I do have Texas winning.
Yeah, it should be a really fun matchup. I'm looking forward to it. One of the runner-up bowls, if you will.
Definitely. Definitely. Next game we have is the Tony the Tiger Bowl because they're great. Between Virginia Tech and USC. Who do we have winning this one?
Oh, I can't believe you did that. This is
I
another
did.
matchup that's interesting because Drones has had a really good season for Virginia Tech. Chase has had them boys looking good. I've got Virginia Tech in this one, but USC is going to put up a hell of a fight.
At Virginia Tech as well.
I'm gonna roll with Tech too. Drones is gonna be the difference in that one. The next bowl we have is a Spotlight Bowl game. It is the Cheez Citrus Bowl because I'm feeling the cheesiest, coach. Between Oklahoma and Penn State.
So the
Who?
other
What are the keys
runner-up
to
game.
this game? Yeah, another running up game. What are the keys to this game, and who do you have winning?
Well, the first key just needs to be said. I didn't get to see a lot of live chat while I was trying to take a nap, but I did see that I don't know if Smitty was being serious or not about opting out of the bowl. So I guess the first key is Penn State going to show up to the stadium?
He was upset about the whole ranking.
I can imagine.
He was definitely upset.
This will be an interesting matchup. Huh, I'll go with Penn State, and I think the thing that makes this interesting is Penn State's run game. It's not necessarily can Oklahoma stop them. It's how successful will it be in terms of forcing Oklahoma to key on it. Because then that opens up those seam routes. It opens up the play action. I it's hard for me to go against Smitty. So I've got Penn State.
I got Penn State as well.
Stopping the run game is going to be the key for Oklahoma. If Mort can't stop the run game, then it's a wrap. I got Penn State winning this one.
You know what's though crazy though? If it comes down to the last play of the game for either team, could you imagine? It comes down to the last play of the game. Both coaches are probably sweating buckets. The way Penn State lost to Ohio State, the way Penn State lost to Rutgers, and then the way Oklahoma lost to LSU. Like you just in your
If
head, you're
it's
like,
if
not again. If it happens again, rip
if it's
for
if
that
it's tied,
controller.
if if it's tied, they going eight. They going eight overtimes because they not gonna know what to do. They're not gonna know what to do. It's going eight overtime. All right, another spotlight game there is the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl between Michigan and Coach Zoot versus Coach Lick, aka Tim, in Washington State. What are the keys to this game, and who do you have winning?
Michigan winning, and I just think they're going to be too much for Washington State.
I think the key is the clash of styles, and it favors Michigan in a sense. I know that Zevi's had a great season for Washington State, but this is a better Michigan defense. and Michigan is going to want to run the ball, and they're facing a lesser defense on that end. So being able to, I think Michigan will be able to dictate terms in terms of the pace of the game. And you just got to get one or two turnovers, an errant pass, one of those speedy players to pick off a pass, jump a route. It's going to be an uphill battle for Washington State, but I think Michigan's going to win this one.
Did you already pick Doc?
Yeah, we're both on
Yeah,
the
I
Michigan
picked.
side.
Yeah,
Oh,
Michigan. Yep.
I think the talent is going to be just a little bit too much on defense for Washington State. I got Michigan to win this one. There's a bunch of talent on the defensive side for Michigan. That is just way too much for Washington State. All right, the next bowl we have is the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl between Temple and Oklahoma State. Who do we have winning this one?
Oklahoma
Temple.
State's had a really quiet season. I'm gonna. This is an interesting one. I know Temple's had a good season. No, 10-2. The Oklahoma State. I don't know. Something about them makes me feel like give me Oklahoma State. It's a gut feeling. Probably wrong, but it's a gut feeling. Finesse has had a great season. Just really quiet, just under the radar.
Taking Temple. I like
Yeah,
I like Temple.
give me Oklahoma State. Next up, we have a classic bowl game in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. James Madison versus TCU. Who do we have winning this one?
I'm gonna go the other way this time because have not picked the G5 team really to win in any of these matchups against P4. Give me James Madison, a bounce back after losing to Southern Miss.
I got TCU, of course. You know why? I hope all of us win because oh boy.
I got TCU as well.
I'm trying to set the standard for the Big 12. Oh man. Um
Two
the
bowl
next
games
bowl
finally.
game. The next bowl game out the two we have left involves another Big 12 team. Is the Holiday Bowl between Cal and Arizona. Who do you have winning this one?
Hmm. Well, I was looking at the quarterbacks for the Davy O'Brien Award, and both of those quarterbacks stood out to me. Looking through them. That's a tough matchup. I think this should be really fun. High scoring game. Over 100 points, I think. Give me Cal.
Give me Arizona. It's gonna be 100 points total in this game. That is for sure.
Definitely.
So you got Doc.
I got Cal.
Okay. All right. And the last bowl is a student versus teacher type of matchup. If you know, you know. The Duke's Mayo Bowl between Duke and Tennessee. What's the key to winning this one? And who do you got?
I like Duke, and I think Duke's key to winning is which Vegas shows up.
fair point.
It is a fair point. Sammy, who you got? And why you think they're gonna win?
Uh, I just feel like Vegas and Jokers are staring daggers through me right now. I'm going to go with Tennessee because I think we'll get the Jokers that played against Mort. And also, just want to add, whichever coach wins, we need to get a video of them having a mayo bath. Or let me rephrase that. Hold on. Let me rephrase that.
Pause. Pause. Pause.
We need to see make celebrating getting mayo dumped on them. That may not sound any better, but some type of mayo celebration.
Mayo celebrations, pause included. I have Duke winning this one. I feel like I don't know which Vegas is gonna show up. You right? I don't know if he's gonna be motivated enough. If he has points on the line for keeping the team, I think he's gonna be motivated. If he doesn't, then I think he's not. And I'm gonna go with he's not. And I'm gonna go with Duke.
I just feel like I could only pick against Tennessee so much that, I don't want any bad karma. So at some point I have to side with Tennessee. Also don't want to get super kicked by Vegas at the NDL convention. So yes, I will confidently say Tennessee now. Good question, NTX.
All right.
I'm not sure because we list when I got the list, it was listed. Let me go back. Give me one sec. I have to pull up. I'm not I'm not at home, so it's a little bit harder to pull this stuff up. The home team was the team that was listed first, so I guess that might be a homey question. If the team that's listed first is home, then we read it home versus the away team. I'm not sure if it's like the cup where it's going to be a coin flip. I'd assume the way bowls have been for the most part, it's how it gets put in the website. So the home team is the first team listed. I mean, I guess it could be up to the coaches if they want to do a coin flip like they do for the beefy. I don't want to speak for the admins, but at least the way I got the list, the home team was the first team listed.
Yeah. So with all the bowls being listed as we just went down all of them, which G5 versus G5 matchup are you most excited for?
The craziest thing is I actually did mark like these this is my question and I didn't even mark it. Uh, I mean, I will admit I'm excited to play Joker because I've never played him before. So, I mean, that's probably my personal favorite because the one thing I like about bowl games is playing someone new. I never want to play someone that I played before. I always want to play someone new. Same thing with the cup. I just want to get new experiences against different people. But ruling that one out, because obviously I'm a little biased in that. I will say the G5 matchup that interests me the most, probably not really a surprise, is Fresno State versus Central Michigan. Like Central Michigan's coming off a loss. I know he's a little bit of a deflator being that close to being in the CFP. And then Fresno State, they may feel like they've been slighted, so this is a chance for them to, showcase on the way out the door before heading into the draft. I think it'll be a really fun game. I feel like their styles are pretty similar in terms of running the ball, and I'm looking forward to that game a lot.
Doc, which game you're looking forward to? Oh, we might have lost Doc for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and go.
Sorry, it would help if
Oh,
I hit the
you
mute
good?
button.
Oh, you good? You good? Go ahead.
I'm with Sammy. I think that's going to be a great game, but I'm really interested in the Middle Tennessee State Liberty game. I think that that's gonna. I think that's gonna be a good one.
The Liberty,
You mean
Liberty
Southern
Southern
Miss,
Miss.
Southern Miss, Liberty?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Southern Miss Liberty. I apologize.
All right. I'm looking forward to the Snoop Dogg Bowl, the Fresno State Central Michigan Bowl. I think that's going to be a fun matchup. Two similar styles of play. Um, when styles clash like that, when similar styles clash, you get a unique way of determining the winner because you have to kind of do something extra on top of what you already do. So it's going to be intriguing to see who does the extra to get the win.
I also think it'll. Man, I'm already shaking my head. I think it'll be interesting too that he, as in Chip, gets this bowl game because like your music is already predetermined. So we already know, like we have expectations for what Chip will be rapping during the game. So just putting it out there, Chip.
Look at the name of the bowl, Chip. Look at the name of the bowl, Chip.
Well then
The next question.
yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you already were going where I was going, so go ahead.
All right. So the next question is, which G5 versus P4 matchup are you guys most excited to see?
Alabama Buffalo.
You know,
I'm curious to see how. I'm. It kind of intrigues me because I think Buffalo is going to score a lot more than people think, and I just I'm pretty excited to watch that one.
I'm intrigued by that one too, being that that is the biggest stage that the G5 is going to be on right there. I'm very intrigued by that matchup as well. Hopefully, uh, Andy can make it a game, force some turnovers, like we said, control possessions, make it a low possession type of game, and possibly get the upset.
Man, the crazy thing is that game didn't even pop in my head because I was skimming through the list of all the bowl games and that one was on like in a separate area. So I didn't even think about that. I'll add to your guys' thoughts. Like I'm just curious to see from a coaching perspective how Andy game plans for Bama, like what his thought process is. But I have a different game, and my game will be the Fenway Bowl, East Carolina and Louisville. How does East Carolina defend the run? Try to defend the run. I'm really curious to see.
It's going to be difficult because Brown is similar to Martin in the Big 12, with his stiff arm is lethal.
Who's it
So that's
in this game? But yeah, I know
Isaac
what you
Brown.
mean. I know
That's
what you mean.
yeah, it's pause, but his stiff arm is lethal, and having to try to defend Martin myself in season was very difficult. So for a G5 team, it's going to be a pretty daunting task to defend Brown. All right. Next up, we have, well, the awards haven't came out yet, but Hopefully, all you guys vote on the awards. The awards are up on the website right now. Vote, 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 vote. Hopefully, you've done so already. Pretty sure this week, sometime this week, we'll get the announcements of the award winners.
Yeah, homie. I know
Um,
some people are having issues with voting. Homie went in and adjusted some things. So if you tried earlier and it didn't accept, try again. If not, then I would reach out to homie. I know Lingus did because he, even after the fix, he was still having issues. I didn't say anything yet, but I had issues the first time I did, but I was able to do my voting last night and it went through. So
all right. So moving on from that, which is you guys' coach shout out for the week?
I feel like it's a easy one for this one. Kudos to everyone that rep their conference in the conference championship games. They were all enjoyable games to watch. And then, the extra shout out to Buffalo for getting the nod in the CFP and good luck against Bama. We'll see how you do, sir.
Same. The outlier is basically the coach of the week, the shout out of the week. Good luck to you, Andy. Represent the G5 well.
That's before Doc goes. Also want to add, I posted it in the Twitch chat and then posting it in the voice chat as well. Andy has a
Should
pick 'em with
probably
all the bowl games, so
should probably post it in live chat too.
I will.
Okay.
I'm scared to go in the live chat though. I've missed so many messages.
Please don't.
I don't
Don't be scared.
like. I
Don't
just
be
want
scared.
to just literally just like stealth drop it.
It has calmed down from earlier. It has definitely calmed down from earlier.
I can't remember who it was. I want to say Smitty said it'd be 300 messages. When I went in, it was over 5.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's calmed down now. You're okay. It's calmed down.
Good to know.
All right. Since Doc did give his award out last show, we will do the ball knower fact of the week. It's just a simple one. It's representing Indiana, who had the dream season. They are the only team to go 16-0 since a certain team. Do you do you want to take a guess who that team is?
16-0.
It was said. It was said. It was said at the end of the broadcast, and
It was.
uh,
Oh my gosh, that's a great one, Vic. Oh man, because they did say it. I remember them talking about it.
did say it. They
19,
did say it.
it was 19
I don't even know.
40 something.
No, it was actually 1896.
Yeah, man, what was it?
1896. God
Oh
damn,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it
don't know.
was.
I wasn't
it
paying
was
It
a
that
was.
much
It was.
long time
attention.
ago. Yeah, yeah. They like I said, they said it at the end of the broadcast on Monday, and I think they said it if you called like any network show that Monday. I mean that Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for you to tell me. I don't even have a guess.
It was Yale. Yale went
Yeah.
16-0
God damn it.
in
Yeah, you're right.
1896.
I forgot they even played football. Wow, man.
Back then, they was back then. That was the schools. The Ivy League for the first part of football, basically, because college football was first before the NFL. For the first like 50 years, the Ivy Leagues were the teams to beat, basically.
makes sense. I just have been so long since I've even thought of them playing football. It didn't even dawn on me. I'm trying to think like who's even been around that long, and then who was like super good. Like I had like nothing to go off of.
To tie it all together now, uh, this past year was the first year that the Ivy League was able to get into the FCS playoffs.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. So the Indiana Hoosiers and the Yale Bulldogs were the only teams to ever go 16-0. Oh, all right, you can take it from here, Sam.
Well, um, wish good luck to everybody in their bowl games. Let's finish the season strong. For everyone in the CFP, good luck. Get your games in quickly so we can hurry up and get to the next season. I already know people are dreading the wait until the draft. It's not even about like trying to get through next season. It's just like, especially if you're not playing in a bowl game, it can feel like the wait's super long. I know from last season. Also, just an extra shout out. I know you guys have definitely had long hours the last couple of meetings, but shout out to the committee. It's not an easy job. It's not something that everyone wants to do, and it's always going to be up for debate. So shout out to those who participated on the committee, regardless of how you feel about your ranking or the rankings of others. It's a tough job. Someone has to do it. Kudos to them for taking the time to do it. And I hope that the playoffs will be a fun watch, and we'll go from there. We're looking forward to coming back on next weekend talking about Buffalo's experience against Bama, and we'll keep an eye on some of these bowl matchups, especially in the G5, and go from there. And leading into the draft and draft prep. So thanks for listening. Also, I did post the link for Andy's Google Doc for the bowl games for the pick'em. Maybe there'll be a prize. We'll have to see. Oh yeah, we're signing off. Good luck to everyone, and stay warm.
Stay warm and play your games. Hopefully, we can get a lot of games played since everybody's snowed in the next few days.
That'd be nice because guys like me who don't have a bowl game, I just want to play.
Well, I don't know.
I understand that.
Maybe someone will opt out and we can slide you in there.
I'm done with Oregon State, so